Okay, welcome to class. This is the question, cost, revenue, profit. You decide to begin selling caramel apples at the local Star Wars convention. Your cost for each caramel apple is $3.32, plus you have to pay a fixed weekly fee of $150 for the booth. Your plan is to sell each caramel apple for $5. Write an expression to represent your total cost for the week if you sell n caramel apples. All right, now the total cost is what? Well, we have the formula sheet. You've seen it before. And let's scroll down to total cost is equal to the fixed cost plus the total variable cost. FC is the fixed cost and TC is the total cost and TVC is the total variable cost. Okay, so how do we get those numbers? Well, we look at the question. It says the fixed weekly cost is $150. So that is 150. Then to that, we have to add what? Well, the variable cost, and that variable cost is the cost for each caramel apple is $3.32. And then we sell n caramel apples, so we have to put in 3.32 times n, and that should be the correct expression for the total cost. All right, good. Okay, so we've got that done. So write an expression to represent the revenue, meaning the amount of income or sales from the sale of n caramel apples during the week. All right, so the price for one caramel apple is $5. So we can put in 5. If you wish, you could put 5.00. And if n caramel apples are sold, all right, n caramel apples are sold, then we will do what? Well, we will take the 5 and multiply it by n. And there we are, 5.00n. Right, so that is for the revenue. Or we can go back here and look at the total revenue is equal to S times X. S is the selling price per unit, and X is the number of units sold, units produced and sold. In this case, it is not X, but it is N, as you can see right here, N caramel apples. All right, item number 3, write an expression that represents the profit or selling n caramel apples in a given week. Well, let's have a look at that. We have the expression. Maybe we should go to Word, and then we go to the formula sheet. All right, so there we are. So total revenue equals total cost plus the net income. So that is what we are after. Let's maybe make this font a little bit larger. So let's go here and we have the total revenue is equal to the total cost plus the net income. And we know that the total revenue, the total cost is what? The fixed cost plus the total variable cost plus the net income, right? And we can go further now. The total revenue is S times X, which in this case, the selling price is how much? Let's go back. The selling price is $5. All right, that's the selling price for each. So it'll be 5 times N, which is what we have here. And the total cost is right here. Okay, so we can copy this if we wish, just not to have any errors. And we can paste it in here. That's 5 times N is equal to the, let's go and get the total cost or cost, whichever way you like to think about it. All right, let's highlight and copy, and we go over here and we paste it. So this is the fixed cost, and this is the total variable cost. The variable cost times the number of caramel apples, which in this case is N, that are sold. And that will be plus the net income. So if you want the expression for the net income, we will get what? 5.00 N minus, we could put the 3.32 N, and we could put minus 150 is equal to net income. All right, so let's fix this and make this a lowercase n. And there we are. So we can combine these two. We can bring up the calculator and turn it on and go 5 minus 3.32, and we get 1.68. So this would give us 1.68 n minus 150 is equal to the net income. Or you could say net income is equal to 1.68 n minus 150. And there we are. So this should be the correct answer. Okay, so if we copy that and then we go back into here, that would give us that expression right there. All right, now comes the last part of the question. How many caramel apples must you sell in order to make a positive profit? A positive profit, you need to go past the break even. So let's calculate the break even. So we can take this number and try to solve it, or we can use our calculator and solve for the break even. If we use our calculator, we just go to second, 6, and there we are. Fixed costs are, the weekly fee is $150, so we go 150, enter. Next item, the variable cost is 3.32. So we enter that, 3.32, enter, and the price, P is for the price, meaning the selling price, which is $5. We can put 5.00, enter, and the profit is 0 because it's break even. And the quantity we will compute, so 89.29, so we will have to round that up and put in the number of 90, correct? 90. And select an answer, you'll have to sell at least 90. Okay, so let us submit the question, and we are correct. So all the numbers are correct. And there we are. We're going through the total cost, expression, fixed cost plus the total variable cost. And next item was the revenue, then the selling price times the number of caramel apples. And then finally, we got the expression for the profit or the net income. And then we computed the break even at the bottom there. All right, so that is how it's done. And we have completed the question. So let's go to the next question. All right, now we are given the expression. Suppose a widget manufacturer has the total cost function, and there it's given. All right, total cost is equal to 2004 plus 34x. And the total revenue is 40x. The number of widgets that the manufacturer must sell to break even is, so we have to calculate the break even. So let us maybe copy these two expressions that we have here. Let's see, we have that one. So let's go and we put it into the Word document. Let's get some space and we put it in there. I guess it didn't do too good a job. All right, let's see maybe if we can get something better. So we do this and we put it in there. And I think we can change that X. So yes, we are. All right, so maybe we will leave that and then we can come down here and do our own entry. CC is equal to 2004 plus 34x. All right, so there we go. So that looks a whole lot better, what we're accustomed to. And we will delete what's up there. All right, so that's one expression. The other expression is the, maybe we'll put it there. Oops, sorry about that. We got a little bit out of the box, you can say. All right, so the total revenue is equal to, we have a function for that, and that function is 40x. Okay, so let's go and enter that. It's 40x. All right, so what are these expressions? Well, let's go back, and we know that total cost is equal to what? Fixed cost plus the total variable cost. And that in turn comes down to total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable variable cost times x, correct? So if we look at the expression we're given, which is this one right here, okay? So this one is the expression right there. If we were to put that expression down here, all right, maybe we'll give ourselves a little bit of space there, and we have them. So it would seem very logically that the fixed cost is equal to this fixed cost is this number right here, 2004. And this variable cost is indeed the 34. All right, so there we go. So on the next line, we can put this, that the fixed cost is equal to 2004 and the variable cost is equal to 34. All right, so we have the numbers that we need or the information that would be useful for our computation. Okay. Okay, so next one is the, let's go down and we can put in the total revenue. So the total revenue, sorry about that. We get a lot misaligned there. Got out of position. So total revenue is equal to 40 times x, as is right up here. Now we know that the total revenue function is what? Well, it's total revenue is equal to S, that's the selling price, times X. So it would seem as though that, just from looking at the two equations, that S is equal to 40. So that is the selling price, correct? That is correct. That is what we have here. So we have the bits of information that we need, the fixed cost, the variable cost, and the selling price. All right, so with that, Let's bring up the calculator. Let's get this out of here. And then we can do some calculation. All right, so here we are. Okay, so what are we after? Well, we're after the break even. It says the number of widgets that the manufacturer must sell to break even is, and so there we are. Okay, so we have the fixed cost and we have the variable cost. We're given the expression for total cost and total revenue. So it's from that we extract the information for the fixed cost, the variable cost, and the selling price. So let's go. We are in the menu already, but in case you forgot how to get in there, you click on second, and this number 6 above that is break even. So fixed cost in this case is 2004, and we enter it. Variable cost is 34, so 3, 4, and we enter. All right, P is the selling price. It corresponds to the S in our formula sheet. So P in this case is 40, and that's entered. Then the profit is 0 because it's break even. And then Q we compute, and the answer is 334. So we go back in here and we enter the number 334. We click on submit the question, and it is correct. 1 out of 1. Green check mark, green border on the box. So it looks like all is well. Okay, so here we are given the expressions for the functions for the total cost and total revenue. All right, the next one is similar. We have the same, except a different scenario, meaning a junkyard pulls parts off of wrecked vehicles and sells them to a wholesaler. If its total revenue function is total revenue equals 27 times X, and the total cost function is 546 plus 20X, you want to find, it's required to find the number of parts that the junkyard must sell to break even. All right, so now we are more informed, and we can see that this number here, 546, would be the fixed cost, because that expression is the fixed cost plus the total variable cost. All right, if we go down, the variable cost will be what? Yes, it's the 20. It's the coefficient of X, or the number in front of X, which in this case is 20. All right. The next thing now, P, as you might recall, is the selling price. If this is a total revenue function, then 27 is the selling price. So 27, and we enter it. And then profit is 0 because of break even, correct? And the quantity we compute, and that number is 78. And there we are. We submit the question, it's correct, green border, green check mark, and most of all, 1 out of 1 for the point, so it must be correct. All right, good. Okay, next question. There we go. Number 5, it's a similar one too. This total cost can be modeled by this total cost function, 7580 plus 64x, where x represents the number of items sold. The formula for the company's total income modeled with total revenue equals 84 times x, where x represents the number of items sold. This company will break even when its total cost, so it actually tells us what is break even. It's when total cost equals total income. So how many items must the company sell to break even? All right, so let's go. The fixed cost is this number right here, 7580. So 7580, and we enter. The variable cost is this 64 right here, 64, enter. and the selling price is 84. So we go 84, enter. The profit is 0. The quantity we compute, and the quantity should be 379. That should be the answer. So we submit it, and it's correct. Green border, green check mark, 1 out of 1 for the number of points. So the next question. All right. This figure shows graph of the fixed cost function, right? Total cost function and the total revenue function for a certain commodity. All right, so there's the total revenue as you saw before. It starts at 0, yes. Ignore the minus 10 and just for the graph to show. So if this is 10 and this is minus 10, in between the two must be 0. So the total revenue starts at 0 because if you sell 0 items, then there'll be 0 revenue. And that is that red line there. The total cost line, it starts at the fixed cost because there is a fixed cost, and then you have the total variable cost added to that. So that is what brings this blue line in here, and this fixed cost is green. As you can see, if you'd like to see the lettering, then that is how it is. All right, so this is the number of units or volume. This is the number of dollars or total revenue or revenue, however you, or the amount of money. All right, good. Now we are given some more information that the selling price is $80 and the variable cost is $40. All right, now what is the break-even point? Now the whole idea was supposedly to not to use these numbers to compute, but to read the numbers off of this graph. All right, now the break-even point, you have to enter it by the number of units first and the comma, no space. It would be probably better, and then you enter the value on the left side here. So it's the horizontal and the vertical. Now you would agree that the intersection of the total revenue line, the total cost line is at 30. So we can put one answer in as 30. Now what is the other answer? As you can see, it's not that clear. It is not on the line. It's not on a designated quantity marker. All right, this is 3,000, this is 2,000, and this line is right here. If you follow it right across here, then it's right in there. Okay, there it is. It comes across here and looks like it's 2 spaces up from the 2,000, or you could say 1, 2, 3 spaces down from the 3,000. All right, so how many spaces do we have between 2,000 and 3,000? Well, we have 1 space in there, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, correct? There is 3,000, there is 2,000. Maybe we make it even larger. Now you can see better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 spaces. So let's go to the word and let's go from here. So we can say from 2,000, maybe we should put the comma in to make it clearer, to 3,000, there are 5 spaces. Okay? So each space, maybe we'll use the equation editor. So each space is equal to what? Well, would be 3,000. Let's take the 3,000, correct? And we subtract the 2,000. And we divide by 5 the number of spaces, correct? Yes. So that's equal to what? 1,000 divided by 5, which is equal to 200. We can do it on the calculator. Let's come out. Hit clear twice. Everything clears. And so we can go 3,000 minus 2,000. That's equal to 1,000. We divide by 5. and that's equal to 200. So we see 200 is correct. So we can put down here each space is equal to 200. All right, it's really $200. If you wish, you could say $200, or you could say that sorry, each space is equal to $200. All right, good. So let's go back to the graph. We know what we're doing now. So if this is the line we're looking at right here. Okay, this line right here. So this is the marker right here. Okay, and from here to here there are two spaces in there. Correct? Yeah. So if we have two spaces in there, then 2000 plus two spaces, so it's 2000. So the number would be what? 2000, so it would be 2000 plus 2 times 200, which would be equal to 2000 plus, okay, let's do it this way, 2000 plus 400. So that would be equal to 2400. All right. So that is how we would do it. Or we could take that 200 right on the display on the calculator, multiplied by 2, it's 400, and then we add 2000. Okay, and we get 2400. So it would be correct to say that the number that goes beside this 30 right here is 2400. But please do not put any commas in there. It will deceive the computer. The comma is supposed to be a separator. All right, or you will surely get it wrong. So the best idea is leave no spaces and put in only the comma separator for the number of units, correct? That's the number of units, and this is the price. Now, I don't know if we put in the dollar sign, if it will work, but maybe we'll check it after. Okay, looks like it's not going to take it. Or maybe it will. We'll try it out. We'll try both and see what happens. All right, good. So next one, what are the fixed costs? Well, the fixed costs, we can read it right here. All right, that green line. And looks like it's one space off from here. So we can safely say we take 1,000, sorry, and we add 200 because 200 for each space as was seen in here. Okay, each space is 200. So we can take the 1,000 and we add 200 and we should get 1,200. So the fixed cost should be 1,200. And now I think we can put in the comma. It should work. Why? Because we're not putting in a pair of values. Okay, good. All right. If the maximum production capacity of the commodity, meaning this is the maximum amount that can be produced. Okay, maximum production capacity is 80. Express the break-even units as a percent of capacity. All right. So if you want the percent of capacity, what do we have to do? Well, let's go back to the Word document and then we will do the computation there. So you want percent of capacity. So that's equal to what? So you have to get the break-even unit. All right. We can put it, maybe let's use this form. That might be better. So we have the break-even unit, all right, divided by capacity. And then we go times 100. And that will give us the percent. All right, so what was the percent of capacity? Break even was how much? I think it was 30, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there's the break even. And if you want the real evidence, it's right here. The intersection of the total revenue and the total cost, there is a 30. So that is the number we will put in. So it's 30 and capacity was 80. Let's go back and see. It says that the maximum production capacity is 80, right? So those are the two numbers that we have, 30 and 80. And then we will go and multiply that by 100. And we get a number. So let's put them into the calculator. 30 divided by 80. And we multiply by 100. That gives us the answer 37.50. 37.50, and that would be the answer. That's the percent of capacity. Is 37.50, or if you wish, we could put it on a separate line. Percent of capacity is equal to 37.50%. All right, so this is indeed the answer. So if you wish, we can copy that and paste it so there are no errors. And then we submit, and there we are. Let's see how our results are. And the results, they're all correct. Now let's see if we did indeed put a dollar sign in there, what happens if it does it? And it doesn't. So know for sure now it doesn't accept it. All right, we have to keep away from putting in anything extraneous. So there is it, 4.4 out of 4, and all the answers are correct. Okay, so this is important. Put in the parentheses. Parentheses must be there. And only one comma separator, separating the number of units from the revenue, total revenue. All right? Or the revenue at that point of 30 units. It was right here, and over there was 2,400. Okay, so we will leave that question and go to the next question. Okay, the cost to print a binder for a conference is $140 for the printing setup. So that looks like a fixed cost. Yes, there's usually printing, you got a setup charge, and $5 per binder. You plan to sell them for $15 each. Write an equation for the total cost and total revenue if you produce and sell X binders. All right. So total cost, what is that total cost is? Well, there's the fixed cost. Fixed cost is 140. All right, let's put it down here, 140. And to that, we have to add the variable cost, which in this case is $5. So we put in the 5, we come back here, we put 5, and then we click on this X, and we have the expression for the total cost. Total revenue, what do we have to find? Well, we have to find information for the selling price, and they plan to sell for $15 each. So 1 5, and then the number of items is X, right? That's the number, so 15X, that should be correct. Now graph the two lines. Now this is where the tricky part comes in, is to graph the two lines. Now, if you looked ahead down here, you could actually find these break-even points, and they should correspond to the one when we do the graphing. All right, so let's say we go after the break-even. Okay, so we have the numbers, and so let's generate the break-even. We'll go ahead before we do the graph. All right. Let's go and look at the numbers there. We go second, fixed cost is $140. So we go 140, enter. The variable cost is the $5. Correct? Yes. So $5, enter. And the selling price, P, remember, is indeed the selling price. So sell them for $15 each. So that would be 1.5. And we click on enter. Break even, so profit is 0. Quantity we compute, and the answer is 14. All right, so 1.4. Now you want to know how much money. So what do? Well, we take that 14 and we multiply by the selling price. Remember, it's revenue. So it's how much we get. So let's clear that. The 14 remains. And then we can just multiply by $15 each. So we get $210, and that should be correct. So we put in 210. All right, yes, there we are. Okay, so now we are to do the graph. Now, what are we graphing? Well, we're graphing these two lines. Write an equation and then graph these two lines. These two lines meaning total cost and total revenue. All right, well, the total revenue is actually the easier one to do, but let's go maybe to a new page. Let's start. So we should probably put in the functions first. All right, we will do the total revenue, and that's equal to 15x, correct? Yes, but let's be sure of what we're doing. It is 15x, and if we come up here, yes, it sells for $15 each. So it has to be 15x. 15x is correct. So how do we graph? Well, it's very simple what you need to do. You have to find the values for x. So we will decide to use, all right, maybe we can use the equation mode. So use x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 10 to generate points to plot the graph. All right, that's what we're going to do. All right, good. So now we go. We can do a table if we wish. We don't need to, but we can. And in this case, maybe we'll just not bother, or we can decide to do the table. All right, good. So let's come out of here first. And if you want, you insert, and you insert the table. Where is the table? There's the table right there. We should have at least maybe 3, 4. Let's do some extra points, all right, just to make it better. And we can go for layout, and we can make our spaces larger, and we can decide where we want the information to go. Okay, so in this case, we want to put in X, all right? But maybe you don't like that X. I'd like some italics, and so we go with X, all right? But that one wouldn't be nice, so we can go to the Times New Romans, and if we do that one, then the X will be very nice. Yes, we get a nice looking X. That's the X we want. All right, so let's get rid of the italics. We don't need that anymore. So the selling price is what? Well, that's what we should do. The selling price is equal to what? 15, yes, $15. Maybe we just put in the dollar sign so we know we are dealing with dollars, yes. All right, we can move this 2 around a little bit like that. And then this is the TR over here. We can put TR, correct? Yeah. Okay, good. So when X is 0, selling price is still 15. And the TR is equal to what? Well, let's do this. 15 times 0. I hope it will be 0. Yes, it will be 0. Now we should put in one more part to the table. All right, table design, table layout. We can insert to the right and get another column in there, and that column maybe we will call it something different. Okay, let's go and let's see if maybe we can try to get some space in here. And there, look at that one. So there we are. So let's call this one here the, what do we want to call it? The XY. All right, we could put it like that, X and Y. All right, or X and maybe dollars would be better. Okay, so here we are. Now, if we have, let's see, let's maybe just address the formatting and put it in there. So we go 0, 0, and we're very happy. All right, if you like, you can always put a space like that. You're not in the software, you're not in ideas, so you don't have to worry about spaces. All right, so the other value I said we would use is x is equal to 10. Because this isn't simple numbers to use, so if that is 10, the selling price is still 15. I should put maybe a selling price per unit. All right, so that is 15. So 15, sorry, let me go in here and we go 1, 5, and we go with times 10 would be equal to 150. All right, so over here, what do we have? Well, we have 10 items and we have $150. So we have the graph basically for the total revenue. And if we wish, we can get rid of these. We can go and say delete, and we delete the rows. Is it? Yeah. Okay. So there we are. So we have our nice table generated. So those are the 2 points, 0, 0, and 10, and 150. So we can go here. We click on this. There's a marker there, 0, 0. Maybe make, oh, sorry. Maybe we better just keep it as it is. It's not doing well if we resize it. Okay, so 0, 0 is right here, and 10 and 150. There is 10. All right, so we come up to 10. We don't lose it, and 150 is right there. And there is our line. So we have one line in there, 0, 0, and 10 and 150. So what's the next one? The next one is this one right here, 140 plus 5x. So let's go back to the Word document. We could actually just, okay, let's come down first and, oops, sorry. I guess it doesn't work very well like that. So we will have to go and delete that, maybe, because I clicked on the wrong part. Let me see. My markers will always help me, and so there we are. Yes, we do have the marker in, and this we can go and delete it. Okay, so we don't need it. All right, but let's come down here. So we are safe again, and the function is what? Well, the total cost is equal to, what do we have? Let's go back and find it. 140 plus 5x. So we come back in here and we go 140 plus 5x, correct? And now we can actually go and generate another table that looks like this one right here. And we can use the same values. So why don't we just copy the whole part of it, and then we just drop it in there. All right, so now we don't have the selling price. We have the fixed cost, and we have the total variable cost, or the variable cost. So what we have to do is we have to put in here, we will have to change this. So we can put VC, all right, we'll take care of that. Space there is equal to 5. And then we just delete all of the rest of that. So VC is equal to 5. So you have to bring this up here. And then maybe we should put in next to this, we should insert a column to the right. Okay, so we should have now, we will have we have the total variable cost. Okay, so the total variable cost is equal to what? Well, is equal to VC at times, okay, lowercase, we use that times, and then we go to our italics. So let's go back and grab the italics and get the X like that, wrong kind of X. So we'll have to go back to our Times New Roman to get the X we wish. And that ain't going to work like that because we did not activate the italics. So we are trapped again. Okay, so with some patience, let's go. And this time, I think we should be able to get it. Okay, so let's go back now, Times New Roman. And if we click the italics and we put the X in there, we got the X that we wanted. Okay, so it's this number times this number over here. Sorry. Okay, so let's move this out a little bit more maybe. And then all right, so times X, or we can make it better and put this down below, right? Total variable cost. All right, now this here would not be total revenue, but it would be the total cost. And that total cost is equal to what? The fixed cost. All right, maybe give it some space. We might run out of room. Fixed cost plus the total variable cost, right? There we go. Okay, so let's delete these numbers here. They're gone. And this number here is gone, right? Variable cost is 5. So 5 will go in there. It doesn't change. Okay, but 5 times 0 is what? 0. Okay, so that would be, let's go in here and we can put it as 5 times, sorry, 5 times 0 is equal to 0. Okay, so that number is 0. And down here, we will have what? Well, this one we will have, we can say it's what? 10 or 0 times 10 or 5. Let's go, let's be consistent. Put 5 times 10 is equal to 50. Okay, now what's the fixed cost? The fixed cost is this 140 right there. So this over here would be what? 140 plus plus what? 0. So that's equal to 140. All right. And then when we come over here, it's 0 and 140. Okay, that would be the coordinates here. Here it's the 50, so we go 140 plus 50, and that's equal to 190. All right, so over here we got 0 and 190. All right, so these are the points we'll be plotting right here, this one here, and this one right down here. Okay, so that's what we need to do. All right, so 0, 1, 40, sorry, this one should be 10, 1, 0. Sorry about that. Let's see, we should go behind there. So we keep the highlighting and then we go back and delete. All right, so 10 and 190, and I guess we can push this a little bit more, maybe. Can. I don't think we'll be able to. Let's see. Yes, there we are. Okay, so 0 and 140 and 10 and 190. So let's come back here. So if we come and we get the drawing tool 0, 140, that's the first point. 10 is down here, remember? And 190 is up here somewhere. So 10 and 190, that is the 10. Just be careful where you are. All right, so looks like we're correct. There's the break-even point because this is the total revenue, this is the total cost. Break-even point is right there. We come down, this is 14, and over here is 210. So that is the answer right there. Okay, so we did the computation correctly and it checks to the graph. And let's submit the question most of all. And with that, we have all the answers are correct. It's the green border. Look at the green border right there, and the check mark, and all the green check marks. And most of all, please check at the top to see that the points are intact. Okay, so that is finished. And I think here is the good place to stop. So we will stop here for today, right? And I will go back and stop the recording.